people might be looking at this thinking, God, I don't rabbit as a pet.
Today's the day, isn't it?
Yeah,
today's the day where you go,
It is.
I want a rabbit.
It is. I think rabbits, bunnies make absolutely amazing pets. They really do. And around Easter, you see a lot of people going out, just getting rabbits and bunnies, bringing them home. And I do think they take a bit more research, a bit more work that you have to put into it. But at the end of it, I do think they make amazing pets to bring home.
And is it all about, when you say it takes a little bit more work, is it all about making sure that the house is ready for the rabbit?
Absolutely, yeah.
Or is it that there's a lot more minding in them once you have them at home? Like you have this bad boy here beside us now.
Yeah. So we've got something that you want to kind of think of when you're bringing them home, the kind of setup that you're going to have, as well as if they're going to be indoors, they need to be rabbit-proofed as well, because rabbits like to chew on cables that we kind of have around there. So that's one thing.
So you'd never think.
Oh, it's okay, Kate, you're okay.
We're getting excited there. So you want to make sure that if you're going to be bringing one bunny home, the size of the bunny when they're full grown, to make sure you have a crate or an enclosure big enough.
Because what age are these guys now?
So they're only about 10 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
God, they're big, aren't they?
Yeah.
Does this go in your house?
This specific one would be one that would be inside of your house there. That you
Where would you generally keep your bunny?
Have to be indoors, would it?
I'd be recommending, if you're able to. Now, there are some amazing hutches that you'd be able to build outdoors that can be heated. And again, you know, rabbits do need bit of vitamin C as well, and vitamin D outside, so picking up sunlight as well, so it's important to get outside. But if you are going to be keeping them inside, something like this works really well. But also, if you have something like that, you want to make sure they're getting a lot of exercise outside of it. So you're looking about 2 hours a day minimum that they're getting out and playing in a large pen like this, or house trained, where they're running around the house as well.
So I'm thinking of Dairy Girls. You've seen the first episode of Dairy Girls where they were saying they're about to take their rabbit out for a walk.
There you
They're
go.
talking about exercise. Like, what exercise? Do you just let them, obviously if it's safe and secure in the garden and they can't escape?
Exactly. I mean, if you are taking out the garden, you want to make sure that it's predator-proof as well, that you don't have the neighbourhood cats, dogs, things like that getting in.
So who'd be after these girls?
You'd probably look at,
because they're adorable, to be honest.
But not in the good way. It'd be foxes, dogs and cats. You know, you would be kind of worried about those guys because they are prey animals, so they're normally hunted by other animals, but they're too cute for that. So if you are going to have them out and exercise, as we said, like you can have the garden. Inside works really well. You want to make sure they're able to stretch their legs just like ourselves.
And what about in terms of feeding them then? Like, you know, you hear horror stories about overfeeding, underfeeding. What do they eat and how often? I know.
She's having a wonderful... They are performing today.
Performing rabbits.
They like when you're talking about food.
I mentioned food. What do they eat?
Yeah, so pretty much they're obligate herbivores, meaning that they only eat vegetables. They get their protein from the type of hay and things that they eat, and their body breaks down. So kind of the big pile that we have there's a bit of straw. That's just kind of what they would normally be laying in. But the hay...
That's bedding more than anything.
Yeah, exactly, bedding. But their main food that we're perfect performer there, starting to eat some, is the hay. They'd eat about 70-80% of that, of their whole diet all day. You'd be seeing them snack around all day. And then, kind of like your dog or cat, you'd feed them in the morning, and the evening would be just a little bit of pellets. So you can see a small amount of pellets that they get, and that's the big one that when I see some overweight rabbits that are coming in, the owners are feeding too much pellets.
It's a shame with the poor rabbits.
Because how big will these fellas grow to?
So these are smaller ones. These are lops. They're usually not a very specific breed. They're kind of mixed breeds. But they're probably only going to be getting to about maybe 2 kilos in size. So not too much bigger than these guys.
And what about, life expectancy? Like how long will
so that's
with you?
One of the biggest ones. People think that they're bringing home a rabbit that's only going to be there for a couple years. They can live on an average up to 8 to 10 years. And I have a colleague that has seen one that was a 19-year-old rabbit.
Wow.
So it's a long commitment.
19-year-old rabbit?
Yeah, long commitment.
It's a serious job, isn't it?
Well, do you know what it is? It's a commitment to it. You don't just run out and, as you say, get a rabbit and go home and go, well, where are we going to put it? You need to put the homework in, see what you need, see how the house is set up for it.
And make sure you're pet friendly. We never had pets, and we've only just welcomed some pets into our world recently. Luca Teddy and Ronaldo Pedro, which are our 2 fish. And it's been a lot, you know. So to me now, another rabbit adding in there would probably be a lot.
But you'd highly recommend rabbits as a pet.
But if you were
I would. I think
prepared.
Again, as long as you're prepared, and I think the big thing is that they're not just for Easter. You know, they are, as we said, nearly 10 years. And I think a lot of people think that they make amazing pets for really young kids, which I wouldn't be recommending.
No.
I think they do make great pets
just in terms of handling and
exactly, because they are small. You know, they can jump. You know, this one's been very good.
They can,
but generally recommend, even when I'm seeing patients in the clinic, I'll actually sit on the floor with them just because just want to make sure if they do jump, they're not landing on the ground.
We really appreciate you coming in, Dr. Bobby. Thank you, ladies, for being so well behaved.
Girls, you did a great job. Thanks,
Good to see you, Bobby. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bobby. Appreciate it.